Actually, Natalie, we are about to get back on the bus. As you can see, people are starting to load back on there. We are back on the road again. This group of 55 or so folks actually loaded on this bus originally about midnight on their way to Washington, D.C. for the March on Wash commemoration. Now, that is actually going to take place tomorrow. There are a lot of speakers that are lined up for that. But the event itself this is really the event itself, just the camaraderie and the people coming together to be able to go to that march. Now, for folks who attended the march, the original one in 1963, they realized at the time it was something big, but perhaps not as much as it became. I spoke with two women at the time. They were teenagers who took that trip to Washington, D.C. One took a plane, the other one took a bus, but they were both headed there for the same cause. They came, it seems, from the four corners of the earth by bus, car, train. They had songs in their hearts, freedom on their minds.
So going to the march was in cars.
Among that crowd of 250,000 or so who marched on Washington that hot summer day in '63, Gwendolyn Tim Powell from Tampa. As a teenager, she loaded into one of 5 cars and drove to the March on Washington.
There was one station wagon, and we caravaned to Washington, D.C. Everything was going well, and we had no fear. We were on our way to Washington. And then in Jesup, Georgia, the station wagon broke down.
One of the people in that caravan had family in Jesup who gave them a place to stay, gave them food, fixed the car, and they left the next day. They did arrive at the march a little late, but they were there.
It was a heady affair for me because we were making history, if you will. But I was not sure that I was all the way aware of everything.
The people. There were so many people.
Another teen was on a train that day to D.C. from West Palm Beach, Mrs. Leola Williams Butler.
I feel so blessed, even now 50 years later, to have been a part of that. It was a pivotal moment for me.
Were you afraid?
No, I wasn't afraid. You know, when you're young, you don't have much fear about a lot of things, you know. No, I wasn't afraid.
She remembers it well. Her friend, now husband of 50-plus years, gave up the chance to go so she could.
But I did know in my heart, and I knew from all the things that we've been involved in before, that it was going to be very, very important.
It left a major impact on her. She still has the original program from that march. She has newspaper articles from that day, even the train ticket from that trip, seat 44, car 11. But the physical mementos do not compare to the feeling in her heart, namely seeing Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. speak.
Through the crowd and where I was standing, I was, of course, very near to the front, but I had a good viewpoint. I could see him as he spoke. Oh, my God. If I think about it too long today, it'll make me tear up.
And a lot of people have that wonderful feeling as well, and everybody here is ready to go, so we're going to hop back on the bus. This gentleman here is actually, he's getting snacks out of my bag. I don't know what that's about, but no, we're ready to go. So, Natalie, we're going to throw things back to you, and we're going to hit the road, and we're D.C. bound, so we'll see you in a little bit. We'll see you about a half an hour.